4 true horror stories you'll regret hearing at night. The apartment manager entered Unit 7B on March 12, 2018. Los Angeles, California. The tenant hadn't paid rent in 3 months. Stopped answering calls. Neighbors complained about the smell. The manager unlocked the door. The smell hit immediately. He covered his nose. Walked inside. Found newspapers. Hundreds of them. Stacked floor to ceiling, creating narrow pathways. He followed one path. To the bedroom. Found the tenant. Dead. Mummified. Sitting in a chair. She'd been dead for 8 months. Surrounded by hoarded newspapers. No one noticed. No one checked. She died alone. And sat there. For 8 months. While neighbors walked past her door. While mail piled up. While the world continued. And she just sat. Dead. Forgotten. These are 4 real horror stories. For incidents that happened while people slept. While the world went about its business. While nobody noticed. Until it was too late. No fiction. No embellishment. Just what was found when someone finally looked. Story 1. The Forgotten Tenant. Her name was Christine Warton. 67 years old. Lived alone in Unit 7B for 14 years. Quiet tenant. Paid rent on time. Until she didn't. The last rent check was dated July 2017. After that, nothing. Management sent notices. No response. Called her phone. No answer. But Los Angeles is busy. People move without notice. Management assumed she'd left. Abandoned the lease. Neighbors noticed the smell around October 2017. Complained to management. Said something died in the walls. Pest control was called. They found no dead animals. Smell persisted. Neighbors complained again. Management said they'd investigate. Didn't. Smell got worse. February 2018. March 2018. Finally, management entered. Found Christine. Coroner determined she died in July 2017. Same month her rent stopped. Heart attack. Alone in her apartment. She collapsed in her chair. The hoarding made her invisible. Newspapers stacked everywhere. Mail slot clogged. No one could see inside. No one tried hard enough. She had a daughter. Living in Arizona. They'd been estranged for 12 years. No contact. The daughter was notified in March 2018. Flew to Los Angeles. Identified the body. Had to clean the apartment. Found her mother's life buried in newspapers. Photos. Letters. A life that ended. And nobody knew. The horror isn't just the death. It's the time. 8 months. Christine sat dead in her chair for 8 months. In a city of 4 million people. In an apartment building with 32 units. With neighbors on both sides. Above. Below. All living their lives. While Christine sat. Dead. And nobody noticed long enough to check. The building still operates. New tenant in 7B. Different person. Same apartment. Christine's death changed nothing. No new protocols. No welfare checks. Just business as usual. Because people die alone all the time. And cities are too busy to notice. The coroner's report was straightforward. Natural causes. Heart attack. Time of death estimated from decomposition. But the report didn't capture the real horror. The isolation. The abandonment. The systemic failure. Christine died naturally. But she shouldn't have sat there for 8 months. That's where the system failed. That's where humanity failed. Her daughter speaks about it now. Advocates for wellness checks. For keeping contact with elderly relatives. For not letting disagreements become permanent silence. She carries guilt. 12 years of silence. Ended with 8 months of unknowing death. She wishes she'd called. Wishes she'd checked. Wishes she'd known. But she didn't. Nobody did. Christine died alone. Sat alone. Was discovered alone. And the building moved on. The city moved on. Life moved on. While Christine's chair sat empty. Finally. Story 2. The Unopened Christmas Presents. December
Still no
26th,
answer.
2019. Phoenix,
Something's not right.
Arizona. Police performed a wellness check. Elderly couple. Robert and Patricia Sims. Ages 73 and 71. Their son had been calling for 3 days. No answer. He lived in California. Couldn't check himself. Asked police to visit. Officers arrived. Knocked. No
Still
answer.
no answer.
Knock
Looked
again.
through windows. Saw
Something's
Christmas
not
tree.
right.
Lights on. Presents underneath. Wrapped. Unopened. Officers forced entry. Found Robert and Patricia. Both dead. In their bedroom. Patricia in bed. Robert on the floor beside her. They'd been dead since December 23rd. 2 days. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Their furnace had malfunctioned. Leaked gas. Odorless. Invisible. Deadly. They went to sleep December 22nd. Never woke up. Died in their sleep. While their Christmas tree stayed lit. While presents sat wrapped. While their son called. And called. And got no answer. The son, Michael Sims, had called December 23rd. Morning. No answer. Called again afternoon. Evening. Christmas Eve. Christmas Day. Kept calling. Got voicemail. Left messages. Dad, call me back. I'm worried. They never called back. Because they couldn't. Neighbors saw nothing unusual. Christmas Eve, they noticed the Sims hadn't collected their newspaper. Thought maybe they'd gone traveling. Christmas Day, still no newspaper collection. Lights still on. Assumed they'd pick them up later. December 26th, police arrived. That's when neighbors knew something was wrong. Investigation showed the furnace was old. 23 years. Needed replacement. Had shown signs of problems. Robert had called a repair company in November. They'd come. Done maintenance. Said it was fine. Could last another year. It lasted 1 month. Then killed them both. The furnace company was sued. Settled. No admission of fault. Paid the family. Changed their inspection protocols. But Robert and Patricia stayed dead. Michael lost both parents. On Christmas. While he was calling them. While they were already gone. And couldn't answer. The presents under the tree were from their children and grandchildren. Mailed ahead. Arrived before Christmas. Robert and Patricia had wrapped presents for their family too. Ready to mail. Never sent. All those presents. Wrapped with love. Never opened. Never received. Just sitting there. Under a lit tree. In a house of death. Michael had to enter that house. After police finished. Had to see the tree. The presents. His parents' final Christmas. Frozen. He took the presents home. Unopened. Couldn't bring himself to open them. They sit in his garage. Still wrapped. 4 years later. He can't open them. Can't throw them away. Just keeps them. Wrapped. Like his parents intended. The horror is in the timing. Christmas. A time for family. For connection. Robert and Patricia died December 23rd. 2 days before Christmas. Their son was calling. Their family was waiting. And they were already gone. Already dead. While the world celebrated. While presents sat ready. While Christmas happened. Without them. Carbon monoxide detectors cost $20. Installation takes 5 minutes. Robert and Patricia didn't have one. Or it didn't work. That $20 device would have saved them. Would have alarmed. Would have woken them. Would have given them time to escape. But they didn't have it. Or didn't maintain it. And it cost them everything. Michael advocates now. Carbon monoxide awareness. Detector installation. Furnace maintenance. He speaks to community groups, shows photos of his parents, their Christmas tree, their unopened presents. He tells people, $20, 5 minutes. That's all it would have taken. But for him, it's too late. His parents are gone. Their presents stay wrapped. Their Christmas ended before it began. And every December 23rd, Michael remembers the day he was calling, and they couldn't answer because they were already gone, already silent, already beyond reach. Story 3. The Baby Monitor. March 8, 2020. Seattle, Washington. Young couple. Sarah and Tom Jenkins. First-time parents. Baby daughter Emma. 6 months old. They installed a baby monitor. Wi-Fi enabled. Camera. Two-way audio. Could check on Emma from their phones. Modern. Convenient. Or so they thought. March 8th, 2:17 a.m. Sarah woke to a voice. From the monitor. In Emma's room. A man's voice. Singing. Not Tom. Someone else. She grabbed her phone. Opened the monitor app. Saw the camera moving. Panning. Someone was controlling it. Someone was watching Emma. Someone was talking to her. Sarah ran to Emma's room. Grabbed her. Emma was crying. Terrified by the voice. The stranger's voice. Sarah took Emma to their bedroom. Tom called police. They arrived. Investigated. The baby monitor had been hacked. Someone had accessed it remotely. Watched their baby. Talked to her. For how long, they didn't know. Police cyber unit traced the access. IP address in Romania. Used a common vulnerability. Default password. Many baby monitors shipped with default passwords. Users never changed them. Hackers knew this. Scanned for devices. Accessed them. Listened. The Jenkins monitor was one of thousands compromised. Investigation couldn't determine how long the hacker had access. Could have been days, weeks, months, since they installed it. 3 months prior, the hacker could have watched Emma every night. Watched Sarah and Tom caring for her. Learned their routines, their schedules, their lives. All through a baby monitor. The hacker was never caught. IP address traced to Romania. Proxy servers. Dead ends. Thousands of victims. Impossible to prosecute. The Jenkins disconnected their monitor. Bought a non-Wi-Fi version. Audio only. No camera. No internet connection. No vulnerability. But the damage was done. Sarah couldn't sleep. Kept checking on Emma. Every hour. Every 30 minutes. Couldn't trust technology. Couldn't trust security. Someone had watched her baby. Talked to her baby. And they'd never know who. Or for how long. Or what they did with recordings. Tom reviewed their home network. Found other devices potentially compromised. Their laptop. Webcam occasionally active. They hadn't noticed. Covered it now. Their smart TV. Potential listening device. Disconnected it. Their security cameras. Outside their home. Also vulnerable. Removed them. They dismantled their smart home. Became analog. Because digital meant vulnerable. The manufacturer issued a statement. Recommended changing default passwords. Updated firmware. Added security patches. But millions of devices were already in homes. Already vulnerable. Already potentially compromised. The Jenkins were just one family. Who happened to wake up. Who happened to check. How many others had watchers? Still have watchers? Never know? The horror isn't just the hacking. It's the invisibility. Sarah and Tom had no idea. For months potentially. Someone watching. Listening. Learning. And they lived normally. Put Emma to bed. Sang to her. Changed her. All while being watched. All while being recorded. All while being violated. And they didn't know. Emma is 4 years old now. Helvet. Habit. No memory of the incident. But Sarah remembers. Tom remembers. Every time they use technology. Every time they see a camera. Every time they hear about smart devices. They remember. Someone was watching. Someone was in their home. Through a baby monitor. Through convenience. Through their own failure to change a password. Security experts use the Jenkins case in training, teaching about default passwords, about IoT vulnerabilities, about the dangers of convenience. But teaching doesn't stop hacking. Awareness doesn't stop criminals. The vulnerabilities still exist. The devices still ship with default passwords. The danger continues. And families keep buying them, keep installing them, keep trusting them, until they shouldn't. Story 4. The Wrong Prescription. November 15, 2021. Portland, Oregon. Dennis McCarthy, 58, picked up his prescription. Monthly medication. Blood pressure pills. Same pharmacy. Same medication. 15 years. He took it home. Started his monthly supply. November 16th. November 17th. November 18th. November 19th. Dennis felt strange. Dizzy. Nauseous. Assumed flu. Took his medication. Felt worse. Called his doctor. Doctor said come in. Dennis drove himself. Barely made it. Collapsed in the parking lot. Paramedics responded. Rushed him to ER. Critical condition. Organ failure. Poisoning. Doctors ran tests. Found wrong medication in his system. Not blood pressure medication. Chemotherapy drugs. Cancer treatment. Extremely toxic. Dennis didn't have cancer. Didn't need chemotherapy. But he'd been taking it for 4 days. His body was shutting down. Investigation traced it to the pharmacy. Labeling error. Dennis's prescription label. On someone else's medication. Cancer patient's chemotherapy. In Dennis's bottle. Dennis took it. Cancer patient got Dennis's blood pressure pills. Both wrong. Both dangerous. Both nearly fatal. Dennis spent 3 weeks in ICU. Organ damage. Liver. Kidneys. Heart. The chemotherapy had ravaged his healthy body. Treating cancer he didn't have. Killing cells that were fine. He survived. But barely. His organs recovered. Partially. He'll never be the same. Permanent damage. From 4 days of wrong medication. The cancer patient fared worse. Without chemotherapy, her cancer progressed. 4 days without treatment. Critical window. She survived too. Barely. But her prognosis worsened. Recovery timeline extended. All because she got blood pressure medication instead of cancer treatment. The pharmacy was investigated. State board found systemic failures. Poor labeling protocols. Inadequate checking systems. Overworked staff. One pharmacist for too many prescriptions. Errors waiting to happen. Dennis and the cancer patient were just the ones who were caught. How many others? How many small errors? How many people taking wrong medications? So, right now, the pharmacy's insurance settled. Paid both patients. Millions. The pharmacy stayed open. New protocols. More staff. Better systems. But Dennis's organs stay damaged. The cancer patient's prognosis stays worse. Money doesn't fix that. Protocols don't reverse it. They just prevent future errors. Maybe. Dennis checks every prescription now. Every pill. Every bottle. Compares it to previous months. Verifies with his doctor. With the pharmacy. Takes nothing on faith. Takes nothing without confirming. Because he trusted. And it nearly killed him. The horror is in the routine. Dennis picked up prescriptions for 15 years. Same pharmacy. Same process. Same trust. And one day it was wrong. One day, the label didn't match the contents. One day, routine became poison. And he had no way to know. No way to check. No reason to suspect. How many prescriptions are filled daily? Millions. How many are wrong? Statistics say 1.3%. That's thousands. Daily. Wrong medication. Wrong dosage. Wrong label. Most errors are caught. Patients feel wrong. Doctors investigate. But some aren't. Some are subtle. Some kill slowly. Some are never discovered. Dennis survived his error. Was lucky. Felt wrong quickly. Got help fast. Others might not. Might take wrong medication for weeks. Months. Damage accumulating. Health declining. Never knowing why. Never connecting it to pharmacy error. Just accepting sickness. Accepting decline. Never realizing it's preventable. It's wrong. It's poison labeled as medicine. Dennis speaks at patient safety conferences now. Shows his hospital photos. His medication bottles. Correct label. Wrong pills. He tells his story. Warns people. Check your medication. Every time. Trust but verify. Because pharmacies make mistakes. And mistakes can kill. But most people don't check. Don't verify. Trust the system. Trust the label. Trust the pharmacy. Just like Dennis did. For 15 years. Until trust nearly killed him. Until routine became deadly. Until the bottle that should have helped him hurt him instead. These are 4 true horror stories you'll regret hearing at night. Christine sat dead for 8 months. Robert and Patricia died on Christmas with presents waiting. Sarah discovered someone watching her baby. Dennis was poisoned by the pharmacy he trusted. All real. All documented. All prove that horror doesn't need darkness or monsters. Horror is in the ordinary. In the systems we trust. In the isolation we don't notice. In the vulnerabilities we don't see. In the errors we don't expect. The horror is that these happen to regular people. Living regular lives. Christine paid rent. Robert and Patricia celebrated Christmas. Sarah installed a baby monitor. Dennis filled prescriptions. All normal activities. All became nightmares. All prove that horror is always close. Always possible. Always waiting in the ordinary. And the worst part? These aren't rare. They're just the ones we know about. How many others? How many sitting dead? How many dying from carbon monoxide? How many being watched? How many taking wrong medication? Right now. While you watch this. While life continues. The horror is ongoing. The danger is present. The systems are failing. And most victims never know. Until it's too late. So you just watched 4 true horror stories that prove nightmares are real and happening right now. Christine sat dead for 8 months. Robert and Patricia died on Christmas. Someone was watching baby Emma. Dennis was poisoned by his own pharmacy. If these real stories are keeping you up tonight, obliterate that like button. Destroy it like trust in systems that failed. Annihilate it like the safety we thought we had. Want more true horror that proves reality is terrifying? Smash that subscribe button and demolish that notification bell. Because we're bringing you real cases that make you question everything. Drop a comment. Which story disturbed you most? The 8-month death? The Christmas tragedy? The baby monitor hacker? The pharmacy error? Tell us. And if you have a story about system failures, share it. Your experience could save someone. Share this everywhere. Because Christine's neighbors ignored the smell. Because carbon monoxide detectors cost $20. Because baby monitors have default passwords. Because Dennis trusted his pharmacy. Awareness saves lives. More true horror that will make you question your safety coming soon. Stay vigilant. Check your systems. Trust but verify. And remember, the scariest stories are the ones that are real.